Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lydia Medicine, and if this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Happy New Year! Welcome to 2023. It's been a very long time. I feel excited to be back here talking to you guys on YouTube. So it's been ages. I missed you guys so much. I don't even know if I know how to do this anymore, but I know that I missed you guys. I miss YouTube a whole lot, more than the way I miss Instagram. You guys already know that I love Jesus Christ. I just touched my mic, sorry. You guys already know that I love YouTube a whole lot, and I'm so sorry for leaving for such a long time. I'm just going to be addressing, because I got so many phone calls, so many messages, so many comments, even on YouTube here, and we're growing in numbers, subscribers, views, and all of that. There's a particular video of mine that's almost at 4K, and I'm so excited. I'm so thankful to you guys. Yeah, so I'm just going to be addressing why I have been on like a 6-month hiatus, and I'm going to just address it now because I don't know how I'm going to explain to everybody that's calling, that's texting, and all of that. I'm fine, really. There's nothing that's wrong with me. I'm very fine. So I'm going to be addressing what happened, what I did, and what the next steps are. So if you are here for Amebosha, just stay tuned. Yeah, it's not like I planned leaving social media for 6 months. I did not plan it, but I'd spoken to my friend one time. I don't even know if she remembers. I'd spoken to her about leaving social media for a while. I didn't know how I was going to go about it. I didn't know when. I didn't know anything, basically. I was just speaking to, I'm sure she has even forgotten if she's watching this video. I don't know if she remembers, but I had spoken to her about leaving for a while, so I didn't know how I was going to go about it. But I didn't even want to do my birthday shoots, but I just said, let me just do it, let me just do it, and just posted it. But after my birthday photo shoots, after I had posted like the appreciation post and all of that, I'd had enough. Like, I could not go again. Like, I had content was not the problem. I had content filmed, edited, and all of that. I had already during this time I've deleted, like during my time away with social media, I just deleted some of the content because I didn't like them. But I had content filmed. Content was not the problem. So I'm going to be starting with what really happened. I'm only doing this video because I feel like someone can learn a thing or two from it. So let's just dive into what really happened. I don't know how I'm going to squeeze everything in this video, but I am going to try as much as possible because I don't want this video to be long at all. So for let me sip my wine because I brought this wine here to chill myself. Yeah. So for about 2 years now, I've not been feeling myself. Like, I had questions at the back of my mind that were tormenting me every day. I don't know. It's not like I was sad or anything. It's not like I was like feeling, these things were just like bugging my mind. I didn't know who I was. I wasn't evolving, and that's like my greatest fear. I was not evolving. I mean, I was like going bits and pieces, but I was not evolving. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was, basically, and that was like not good enough. I felt like life was happening to me instead of happening for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if anybody can relate to what I'm saying. I felt like everything that was happening to me, not for me. Like, everything just felt wrong. And when I knew that it was really bad was when it was not in comparison to anybody's life. I just wanted my own life. Like, I'm not talking about material things here. I know the car, my dream car, I know my dream house and all of that. It's not like I am so desperate to have all of those things at this point because like they are really expensive. But I just wanted like my life. I don't know how to put it. It wasn't in comparison with anybody else's life. I didn't want I was tired of wanting everything that was on social media. I was tired of wanting, like, it was not in comparison with anybody's life. So after I had made my birthday post, my appreciation post also in June, that was June 28th or so, I just like, I couldn't give anything again. I felt like I was not giving my best self, so there was nothing to give. Like, there was nothing. I just went off. So when I went off, I was just doing things normally, what I normally do: wake up, do my business, do everything that a human being is supposed to do, basically. But I still kept on asking myself these questions: what was wrong? Like, it was still ringing. This time it was even very, very loud, because I could not give anything again. I just kept on asking myself what was wrong. I needed to find out. So I was using YouTube. I couldn't totally go off Instagram because of my business. I still needed to consult, like, run my business. I was using YouTube for education purposes, and I was using TikTok like later after a few months. That's when I started using TikTok for laughs and maybe education and all of that. You guys already understand how I was feeling. I'm going to move on to what I did exactly. First thing I did, or let me say God did, was to direct me. Let me just say that I did not actively ask for this. So it was just like the words of my heart, me just like speaking in my heart. I did not kneel down to pray and say, God, this. It was just the whispers of my heart, basically, and God directed me to a video. I cannot remember the exact video on YouTube, but I was seeing videos that were just made for me for this, like, my difficult period. It was actually a self-development video. So I just started watching videos. I was watching videos, and the more I was watching videos, it was like those videos were just answering my questions. They were putting me at ease, basically. So I was watching those videos. I kept on watching, and as I watched, I would jot things down. I would implement things that I learned from the video. I would talk to myself and all of that. I would also listen to podcasts, listen to intelligent conversations on YouTube, listen to podcasts of people just talking about life, basically. At this time, I'd already started journaling, so I would jot things down. I would journal. One thing I did was that my journal was just about me. I didn't write anybody. I'm not like nothing. Nobody else's name is in my journal, just my name. So I would journal. I would note things down. Like, I was basically having deep conversations with myself. I was like focusing on my inner, like, myself. Like, nothing else mattered at that point in time of my life. So this was like 3 months into, okay, let me say that's June, July, August. Okay, around August, September, especially September, as when I was really, because for like June, July, August, I was not really, like, I was still asking myself these questions. I was just like everywhere around the place. I'd not even started watching these videos that I was talking about. The one I vividly remember was this popular author, Robert Greene, where he was talking about how to be happy, how to find yourself. And he said that for you to be happy and find yourself, the first thing that you need to do is to reconnect with your inner child. The person that you were when you were innocent, when you were a child, when you didn't know all the struggles of the world, when you didn't have limiting beliefs, when you didn't have, like, just, you know, the way the world is, when the world had not contaminated you. So you need to reconnect with that person, because that is your true self. That is who you are. So, like, it was just everything I needed. I loved that video because I felt disconnected with myself. I felt like I didn't know myself anymore. So I just needed to listen to that video, and I listened to it and I wrote things down, and I spent time doing shadow work. I had serious deep conversations with myself every day. That's what I was doing. As I'm eating, I'm having deep conversations with myself. I'm sleeping, I'm thinking of myself. I'm having my bath, I'm thinking of myself. Everything I was doing, I was thinking of myself. And the main thing that I came to notice was that I lacked self-awareness, because when I'm around people, I note what these people are doing, how they are feeling. I observe people a lot that I do not take time to observe myself. So I noticed that I lacked self-awareness. That's like my number one, like my major problem. And it just led me to another problem, which was I subconsciously picked up terrible limiting beliefs from my teenage years, especially my year 2 in uni. I had picked up self-destructive beliefs from people around, friends, people in school, and all of that. So it was terrible. I had battles with my mind, trying to fight these beliefs that had already been imprinted in my subconscious, because you pick up these things you as as a young adult, you would think that, oh, I know what I'm doing, I'm this, but especially in your teenage years, your friends and people around you have a very, that's, I will not call it peer pressure, because you say you know what you are doing, you say that I know what I'm doing and all of that, but you just subconsciously pick up things that, bad things, let me not say bad things, but beliefs that don't serve you. That's how I'll say it. Beliefs that don't serve you. So you subconsciously pick these things up from people around you, especially in your teenage years. The most powerful thing that you possess is your mind. So I struggled with my mind, because these things were already imprinted in my subconscious. My God, I struggled a lot. Like, I was having mind battles with myself. My subconscious and my conscious mind were fighting. It was not easy, man. For example, I thought I was grateful, but I just came to realize that I was not as grateful as I thought I was. I thought I was optimistic, but I just came to realize that I was not as optimistic as I thought I was. As a child growing up, I was raised to be super grateful. My family was very grateful for everything that we had. But meeting people as you grow up, as you leave home to go to boarding school, to go to uni, and all of that, you'd have already picked up. I'm speaking about myself. I already picked up very limiting, terrible beliefs that, okay, say for example, like complaining and not taking time to enjoy the beauty of life. So the exercise I did was that I spent every day writing what I was grateful for, even to what you call the littlest things. I don't call things little again. If I eat anything, not even if I eat anything, when I eat anything that will make me happy, even if it does not make me happy, I would thank God for having food. I would thank God for when NEPA brings light. If you're in Nigeria, you know that light is not a necessity, it is a luxury here. So I would thank God, and it made me, these little things brought joy to my day. Like, when I'll thank God for the weather, I'll thank God for the sunrise, the sunset. Like, maybe I'm journaling and I'm writing my I'm feeling my gratitude space, and the sun is rising or the sun is setting. Like, it's just, these are the little things that make life what it is, that make life beautiful. I will journal those things, make me feel so happy. I'll be joyous. And that's when people ask me that what's wrong with you, it just made me wonder, like, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with me. I was having a very beautiful time. Like, on some days were bad, when I was struggling with my mind, but I was having an amazing time. I was having such a beautiful experience spending time with myself. On the days where I was struggling to find things to be grateful for, I'll thank God for the process of me here trying to figure out life, trying to enjoy life. I will thank God for it. I'll thank God for putting me in this process. I'll thank God for the joy that came in the morning, and it's always, the joy always comes in the morning. Another thing I did was that I spent a whole lot of time reading books. Like, I read so many books. As a child, I used to read books that were even bigger than my brain capacity. Before I was even in my teenage years, I would read books that were meant for adults, and I will enjoy it. So I went back to this practice. I read about 5 to 6 books in the past 6 months. Yeah, I'm just trying to conclude the last one now, so that I know that I finished this book and going to the new year, because I have others that I would like to read for the new year. I'm such an old soul in the sense that I would read books that were bigger than me. If you know Benny Hinn, I read so many of his books, because my dad had a library while I was growing up, like a room that was like, you see these Harry Potter standard shelves. That's what he had. So I would read his books. Why would I be reading my dad's books? Because anytime I read children's books, I'll just like read it fast. But when I read those bigger books, I'll soak in it, I'll enjoy it, I'll jot things down. This is before I was even a teenager, so I enjoyed reading a whole lot, and I think that this practice is going to stick with me. I'm not going to ever stop reading. I stopped reading, and it's just, according to what Robert Greene says, things that you did as a child will make you happy as an adult. One of my goals from reading is to be able to have and enjoy intelligent conversations, and also to be able to speak well. Like, that's like one of my goals in life, to be able to speak very well, to be able to write very well. That's like one of my goals in life. I'm sharing one of my goals with you guys. I'm sorry if you guys catch me looking down, because I just wrote these things down because they're like mumbled up in my brain. I just had to like bring everything down with pen and paper, because while these things were happening, they didn't happen in like this order. They were just happening, and I was doing them. But when I knew that I was going to share this experience, I said, okay, let me put them into writing. So another thing I did was exercising. I started exercising during the early days of around June. I was already exercising. So I was not exercising for maybe to lose weight, or I just wanted to just keep fit. And the dopamine that comes with exercising is amazing. Like, you feel good when you exercise, you'll be happy, you just like everything, it just feels like all is right with the world when you exercise. So I do home exercises, and I've also been eating healthy, although I still struggle with exercising and eating healthy, but I have routines set in place that would help me be better with this exercising and eating healthy, like meal prepping. And I like to habit stack. The book Atomic Habits, I would do everything that I have to do, work, and exercise, bathe, and pray. That's in the evening. That's what I'll do. So it's like I'm looking forward to doing those 3 things. So I'll exercise, have my bath, and say a prayer in the evening, then do other things, then pray again before going to bed. So that's like my routine, basically, like my evening routine. So another thing I did, like that was like the main major thing, and I did not take this very seriously at the beginning, but as I continued to find myself, as I continued to speak to myself, I started to build a relationship with God. And I would say that He was always with me from the beginning, because the things that I did, I do not see them as ordinary at all. I had deep conversations with God. Like, it feels like I'm always talking to Him, even when I am not actively praying. It feels like I'm always constantly in a conversation with Him. I'm speaking in tongues when I'm cooking, I'm speaking in tongues when I'm sweeping, I'm in the spirit when I am just like listening to music, or just being in my head, or just maybe when I'm listening to a sermon, I'm just like in the spirit. Or even when I'm outside, you might be with me now and I feel like I'm having a conversation with God. Not like I feel like I am having a conversation with God. I always saw Him as only a father, a strict father, but He's more than just a father to me. He is my friend, He's my lover, He's my brother, He's everything that there is. And I would not be here, or I would not feel as good as I feel now without this last process. That's speaking to God, talking to God, bringing my problems to Him, even as little, like, it's crazy, because as a child, I remember when I used to maybe have exams, and this was even before I became a teenager. I was in primary school when I would do this. I would write all my courses that I was taking in a paper, and I've always been a pen and paper girl. I see people use Notion and all, it works for them, but me, I'm a pen and paper babe. I would write, as a child, I would write all the courses that I was doing, even the ones I didn't have problem with. I'll write everything down and I'll kneel down. This was CM. Don't underestimate your innocence. I was so innocent. Like, when I was doing all this shadow work, that's when I remembered all the things I would do as a child. I would kneel down and I would speak to God. Maybe the exam was like in a few weeks or something, I'll pray. Then when it's like a night before, I'll take the pen or the pencil I was supposed to use, I'll pray. Like, this is like my innocence. It's not, I didn't feel like it's just amazing to think about that I would do this as a child. I would speak to God as little as any. If I was looking for something, I would pray. If I was anything, if I was like the things I used to ask God to speak it, saying it to someone, it might feel saying it to someone, it might feel useless, it might feel trivial, but this is my relationship with Him. This is the relationship I used to have with Him, and with everything that I've done, I'm just very, very, very grateful that I've been able to bring that relationship back. I ask God for everything, because if I don't ask God, who will help me? You see that that's all about. We say, if I don't, who will? Because who will actually do it for me if God does not do it? Even if He's going to use a human being, He's the one that is still going to do it. So I reconnected with myself. I remember when I was let me say, before I became a teenager, maybe my early teen years, every Saturday I would spend time in the church, Pastor Mark's church. I remember, if my church members are watching this, like my children's church members are watching this, remember, we would spend time studying the word. He'll give you like an assignment. This was where mothers usually keep their children, instead of like using babysitters or using aunties and uncles. So when my mom was going to the shop, she'll keep us in church, and other women will bring their children to church. So Pastor Mark would give us like an assignment during the week to study the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That was for children, because we couldn't comprehend like Genesis, all these other ones. So we'll study Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That was like the Bible stories of the Bible. So when we study these Bible stories, that the miracles of Jesus, basically. So when we study these scriptures during the week, he will now ask you to come with 5 stories. When you come with 5 stories, you must say where they are from, you must say the verse, you must say everything that Jesus said, and you say it. If you don't say it, because at the end of the day, they'll give us biscuit and sweets, but it was amazing. That was like, those times were like the happiest, because like I'm a book babe. I knew things, but it made me happy, because during the week I'll spend time reading my Bible, memorizing what Jesus said, everything that Jesus said. I'll memorize it, all the miracles, I'll memorize it. So this was like the highlight of my, after doing school work, I would do church work, and on Saturday you come and present, you speak and present, and if you don't know it, to flog your bum. So I didn't go through anything bad physically. For people that were asking, am I okay, am I this, I was not particularly hurt or anything. I was good, because I was connecting with myself. Like, it was an amazing time for me. I mean, I couldn't possibly explain what I'm explaining now to everybody that was coming to, because I saw messages a lot. I'll go to my Instagram maybe to pick up something from my personal page to take to my business page, and I'll see a whole lot of messages. I know people that have been seeing, maybe I was online or something, I'll see a whole lot of messages, a whole lot of calls. Ibiduni called me. I had like lots of messages. I didn't even know. It was amazing. But people were really worried about me, and nothing was wrong with me. Like, all the battles were in my mind, and the battles were just like from the first few months. Basically, when I started to figure things out, everything was amazing. I was having a good time with myself. Like, the experience was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful experience. Like, it was amazing. I was growing, I was evolving, I was changing. Every time that I felt like I should come back to YouTube, or I should come back to Instagram, I didn't feel ready at all. Like, it felt like something was holding me back. Just like I said, I had content to put out, but it felt like something was holding me. So I was not able to come back. Just like I said, I didn't go through anything physically. Then early this December or late November, something big happened. Like, something really challenging hits me, and I handled it with everything that I have become now. I handled it like a pro. I spoke to God. My mind was strong. Like, when I handled this thing, I knew that yes, I was ready for the next phase of my life, and it was just amazing, because I felt like Odeshi. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not going to have like days where I'll still cry. I spent a whole lot of time crying during these past few months. Like, I cried a lot, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to have down days again. Everybody has down days, but I feel like I'm going to be able to handle it better now that I feel like a whole different person. Basically, I feel like I'm more self-aware, I'm more aware, I'm more conscious, because it felt like I was awoken. I don't know if I'm saying that English very well, but I feel awake. Yeah, I feel awake to the things of to the beauty of life, basically. Anytime I say that 2020 was one of the best times of my life, people don't usually understand, because that was like the first time we were forced to stay at home with our thoughts, reflect on our lives and all of that. And during that time I focused on my business. I didn't exactly focus on me as much as like the way it happened now. But I feel like these times that every time I take to just reflect and like do a life audit, or like a self audit, yeah, it just makes things better for like the next phase of life. So I'm going to be speaking about the next steps, what the next steps are for me. So these past 6 months were the most beautiful and somehow the hardest times in my life. I'm never going to forget this past 6 months, because just immediately after my birthday I just went into lockdown mode. I just locked myself down. But I'm not going to forget these things. I can't even forget, because I have like books of like journaling that I did. Next steps for me is that I'm going to continue to evolve, to develop myself. I'm going to continue to develop myself to great lengths, guard my mind. See this mind, see this, everything they say, as a man thinketh, so is he. I'm going to guard my mind against limiting beliefs. I'm going to guard my mind against like, you don't even know how much I'm guarding my mind right now. You see people say, there's this thing I was going on one time. I've never really like been able to relate to all these rubbish slangs and all these jokes, because you say people say "Shakpa hold me," or I just look at them like, what is wrong with you? I cannot relate. Like, there's nothing that is a joke, because in as much as you start joking, because normally I don't even like when people say mumu or de, like my friends and family can attest to that one, and that's what my mom like has raised us with. You cannot say mumu or de and say that you are playing, then she will condemn you straight up. So when people say shakpa or my last 1k or this, these are limiting beliefs. In as much as you say you are joking, deep down, one day when just because you don't have money you start saying, oh, shakpa hold me, I can't relate to that. I've never been able to relate to that. And even now that I'm trying to guard my mind and my heart, you cannot even see me in that joke. I was just looking at people, because I would watch TikToks, I would watch I started doing Twitter towards the end, because towards the end of like this 6 months, because I said that I want to develop my writing skills, and I just feel like Twitter is a place for you to be able to read. It depends on who people that you follow, for you to be able to read and write too. So you see people joke around with things like so many just jokes, and I know that I might be guilty of, I might have been guilty of some things, some jokes, but this is where my self-awareness now comes in. Say, speak to myself, Lydia, you're not supposed to be doing this. What does this mean? How can this help you? How can this destroy you? How can this, like, life is that serious. Yes, life is that serious. If you're watching, if you know me, you know that, I mean, I can joke, I can take a joke and all of that, but life is that serious. Everything that is happening in this life, like, have you ever even thought, like, this life, how? Like, it's so mind-boggling. So why would you joke with things that, why would you even joke? I mean, why would you, if you want to joke, watch comedy. I love to watch comedy, but don't joke with your life. Don't joke with your mind. Don't joke with what you think, because everything you think, everything that your life is now is as a result of what you have been thinking about and what you think about. So don't joke with your life. So why are you joking with all this? I can't relate. So I'm going to continue to enjoy the beautiful things in life. I'm going to enjoy the beauty of life. I'm going to continue to develop myself and just keep growing, basically. So help me God. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. New Year. Welcome to our family. Don't forget to subscribe, because you're going to be learning a whole lot from moi here. So thank you guys for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up.